since we're talking about losers, let's talk about Stuttering John. Stuttering John did a show yesterday, as he's ought to do, and he started like he always starts, where he's not prepared, and his green screen is not centered in the background, and then he freaks out and realizes it's all fucked up. I don't know how he does this every time.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it right there.
Yeah.
That sliver.
And the thing is that John's trying to hide where he is. So John just got served with a lawsuit from this guy.
He did get served?
Yes, it's official.
Yeah.
All right, Carl, I don't know if you're going to get to it because I will load the clips, but I don't like to watch them until we watch them.
Yeah.
But the one thing I notice is what's going on with his hair.
Well, he's got
longer.
a really bad dye job.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But it's like blondish red. It's like a strawberry blonde now.
Oh, this is a funny thing. I didn't pull the clip because it going a little deep in the Devilverse. But the other day we were making fun of Johnny. He had this giant stain on his sleeve.
Yeah, it's like oil.
Yeah, and I showed my wife. My wife goes, "Oh yeah, that's hair dye." You know, he was definitely dyeing his own hair, and he screwed up and dropped a clump of it. So on the show yesterday,
and left the shirt on. That's my favorite part about it.
And didn't realize it. He goes, "Oh, that must be sweat." He's like, "Oh no, that's not sweat." But what's crazy is that on today's show, he pulls up his sleeve a little bit. There's a tattoo there.
Oh,
he only shows a little bit of it, and he goes, "Yeah, I was being coy. Actually, that stain I had was from my tattooing."
Oh, you fucking liar.
He's a fucking liar because there's no way. I think this tattoo that he has is a temporary tattoo thing that he put on because he goes, "If you guys want to see it, you have to super chat me." Oh boy.
But he doesn't deny dyeing his hair.
No, of course not.
Okay, I know why. He's embarrassed that he was dyeing his own hair.
Yes.
That's why.
Yeah, because he claims to go to Super Clips or wherever he goes to. Where Lady Jane's.
Super Cuts.
He goes to Lady Jane's. And he's just like, "Oh, yeah, that's where I go." But you can tell he doesn't himself. There's no professional in the world that would do that bad of a dye job.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous.
And there's also no one who would be wealthy, as John claims to be, that would dye their own hair. A star
You don't
at
go to
his age.
CVS when you want to change your hair color when you have money.
No.
Is he growing it out now too? Is that because the bald accusations? I feel like it's a lot longer than it's been.
Yeah, you could be onto something. He changes his hairstyle up a lot.
Okay. All right. So this is the green screen.
Yeah, start of the show.
My green screen. There is it.
He always does it the wrong way because it's not mirrored.
No.
Why wouldn't he edit this out?
Fucking no.
It's everything's live.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
Great.
Just do it.
That's his funniest joke that he does. He does it over and over and over again every episode.
It insinuates that you're homosexual, correct?
Correct. He's even doing the limp wrist thing now when he says, "Just do it."
Yeah, he believes Carl is gay, and he believes that because Carl doesn't have any children, so that makes him homosexual.
But he's so active in supporting the LGBTQ community. I'm surprised that he would make that. For that to even be an accusation.
But
is
despite that, calling somebody gay is like his biggest insult. Like
for everyone.
Like he feels like that's a huge hurtful thing to say.
Which means that's the biggest insult you could give to him.
So when he says it to people, he's really trying to hurt them.
All right, so
he's very manly.
The next clip, I'm going to introduce you guys to something. There's a clip that got put on one of these subreddits that John looks at, and it's me talking about how I don't think that these phone calls he had with Kate Meany, there was some real personal shit he said to Kate about his family and things about like his kids and stuff like that. And it's been played places, and I don't agree with playing that. I don't think it's entertaining, and it's sad for John.
Just like Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right.
Sounds pretty gay.
So my clip 8 here, it starts with this StreamYard fail. So John's playing that clip of me. It's just a half a second so you get the context. I don't like to hear myself while I'm on a show, but John tries to like take over the screen and comment on it, but he keeps putting the video up instead of him. This is really funny. I'm not trying to ruin the guy's life. That's not my thing.
Well, ago, weren't you? I mean, I don't understand. You were all in before, so what happened? Is it because you know the law?
He's pushing this.
I love that he kept hitting the same button, whatever it was.
The same button over and over again. It doesn't work this time.
Look at that face.
Oh, what a clown.
Okay.
Which one, Drew? I mean, there's two faces there. They're both ridiculous.
He looks special.
All right, so we're going to skip to my clip 11 because he just mentioned there's this big lawsuit. He's working with a new attorney. I told you I talked to his attorney. He's got a new attorney because that attorney didn't intimidate any of us. All just went okay, whatever. So John goes, I had to get a new attorney because no one took him seriously. So now that I came out and I said, yeah, I don't think you should play like personal stuff from the Kate Meany calls, he's decided he's no longer suing me.
Hey, interesting.
So Lady K, then okay, then you're not involved. I actually got to then get my, contact my attorney and take your name off of the list of.
Congratulations.
But I know you were threatening to play them. I have the tape of you saying that it's salacious, and that's not good either. Saying all this shit, you did say that. But I might let you off the hook because if you're turning the other cheek and you're saying no, it's wrong. I might fucking. Yeah, I'm not going to include you.
There you go.
You're going to what?
So
what was that word?
How much money is that going to save you, Carl, by not being included?
I actually now I have FOMO. I kind of want to be part of this lawsuit. Like, I feel like he's leaving me out now. That kind of sucks. It's a bummer.
I want him to sue you for defamation for saying they're salacious, so then you can enter them into the case as evidence.
He thinks he can sue people for hurting his feelings
for their opinion
for some reason. Like, I've heard the phone calls. He sounds pathetic. Is that illegal for me to say? John sounds wildly pathetic trying to hit on a girl that's way out of his league.
It's defamation.
Yeah, that's less than half his age.
That's, I have to admit, I'm not for playing recorded phone calls without someone's knowledge, but I would like to hear him hitting on her. Like when he's hitting the hardest.
too. WATPlive.com, August 16th and 17th in Rochester. I believe that those tapes will be played.
Oh, wow.
You'll be able to hear that.
Is there any particular move you could at least maybe tease us with or mention something that he does that he thinks makes him...
I've played some AI versions of it on my show, you might have heard, where he talks about they're going to get married and live in the Bahamas together.
Right, on a beach together.
Yep, on a beach together. And, you're my future wife. I just want you to know, blah, blah, blah.
Whenever she says something that he loves, he's just like, oh, just marry me now.
Yes, right. If they relate on something.
Does he ever say, like, I want to suck your tits?
No, it's not Pat O'Brien.
It's never like that.
No, it's definitely not. And just for the record, I feel like I need to clear this up. Me saying what I said about the Kate Meany tapes has nothing to do with any lawsuit. John keeps saying, well, Carl's wising up. He doesn't want to get sued. That's why he said that.
Right.
Nothing to do with that. You're
That's
not
not why
anyone.
you said that. It's not what that led not to your decision at all.
You're not suing anyone, John. Stop it. No one thinks you're suing anyone. We just played earlier on the show. 3 different celebrities had tapes leaked that everyone played. It's newsworthy.
Right.
Your media outlets can play this stuff when it's newsworthy. And John, you're a giant celebrity that we're all jealous of. So,
well, he keeps telling us what a big celebrity he is. So that makes it very hard to do that.
Kind of works against him in this element. Oh, well. All right. So Don Buchwald just passed away. Don Buchwald, Howard Stern's agent, legendary agent for Howard Stern. I mean, you got to say the guy's good at what he does.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that he got that second deal with Sirius XM after Artie was gone, Anyway, Don Buchwald's very good at what he does. He was also an agent for the other guys on the Stern Show. He just passed away. And what John likes to do is pay a tribute, eulogize.
We've heard him eulogize people before. He does a very respectful job at it.
Yes, when someone dies that John knew in real life, I'm like, I wonder what nice things John has to say about this guy. My clip number 9 is where this starts.
Now, his daughter, I think, was Gretchen. And I guess I'll give condolences to the Buchwald family.
That's good.
Because they don't have anything to do with their dad, who I really viewed as being a monster. Oh. And I would love to say something nice, but I have 0 to say nice.
I'd love to say something nice. I don't think he knows what that means. Like, you could say, you lie all the time.
I don't want to say anything about the family, but your dad was a monster.
You think he would have something nice because he was getting a lot of gigs with, while he was a part of the Stern Show, a lot of secondary gigs because of that. And you think that this agent might have helped out in that area.
I'm going to get into that, Brandon. Yes. If he wanted to say nice things, he could have. But
who else has he eulogized? Sorry to interrupt. Who else has he eulogized recently? Ralph, Cabby.
Crazy Cabby, yep. And just bashing those people.
Yeah, no, those were horrible. They were monsters.
Yes.
Is there anyone he's eulogized that's not a monster?
There's only one, Sam Kinison.
Oh.
Oh, because he was very nice to him.
Sam
back
Kinison
in
didn't live
1980
long enough to betray him. Therefore, he's a great guy.
Did John tell a story? Did he insert himself into Kinnison's death?
Of course he did.
Really on brand.
He told Sam Kinnison's brother on the show. And it wasn't like an anniversary of his death or his birthday or anything. It's just a random date. Sam Kinnison's brother comes on. And John goes, you know, Sam told me that I was like his brother.
That's also the time when he was having technical problems, and he said, maybe you should leave the room, meaning the Zoom, and Sam's brother left the room.
The funniest thing ever. He goes, it wasn't connecting, the audio was working. He goes, leave the room and come back in. He goes, okay. And he gets up and walks out. He's an older man. Yeah,
it was very awkward.
It's one of the funniest things ever. All right. Clip number 10. So this is, again, John has nothing nice to say about Don Buchwald.
Even when Ralph Sorella died, I had some nice things to say. When Crazy Cabby died, I had some nice things to say. I don't have anything nice to say about Don Buchwald.
It's crazy. He's like bragging about having some nice things to say about guys that he knew who recently passed away.
What a piece of shit.
How many times does he say I don't have nice things to say about Don Buchwald? Because that's twice.
Oh, yeah. It goes on. And then he starts saying the negative things that he has to say.
Oh.
But this is crazy to me. So he explains his history with Don Buchwald. My clip number 12, he's going to get into now. If you're not aware of this, Howard Stern had this thing that's referred to as the Channel 9 show.
Yeah.
It was a television show that was local to New York. Mm-hmm. And it was a late night show. I think it was Saturday nights up against SNL, if I'm not mistaken. At least it was at some point. And it was kind of a cult following. People who were into Howard Stern really loved the Channel 9 show. If you go back and watch the bits now, I don't know if it holds up.
There's a great Corey Feldman one that holds up.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Was it in a lot of other markets?
It wasn't.
It wasn't only in New York? That's it?
I remember me and my friends, like, we wanted to watch it, and we couldn't. We heard him talk about it and all this stuff, and it wasn't in our market.
That's weird, because I've seen clips of it, you know, not just Corey Feldman, so I thought, oh, it must have been in some other markets.
It must have been in some, but...
God, people talked about that show a lot, though.
They did. All right, and of course, there was 3 big stars on that show. Howard, Robin,
that's right,
and John Melendez.
They paid me $750 a week, which to me then was a lot of money since I was making zero at K-Rock. So I got $750 a week, which was really lame considering I was the biggest part of that show. I mean, even when the reviews came in, nobody liked Howard, Robin, and the show, but they loved me. And it killed Howard to say it.
He was the only reason why anyone was even watching the show. Did you know that?
What?
The reviews came in, they all hated Howard and Robin and the show, but they loved John Melendez.
Did he do a lot of stuff on the show?
He's insane. He's an insane person.
I don't know what he's thinking there.
What the fuck? I do remember him making a big deal about there was a sales piece and there was a picture of Robin, Howard, and me that they used. So I was like the number 3 on the show.
He's brought this up 50 times in the
One
last...
fucking sales piece that some probably nobody salesperson just happened to put together. Is there a picture I can use?
Yeah, it's sales collateral. It's not a big deal, John.
No.
It's not how they're marketing. Okay. So clip number 13, Howard tells John, okay, now that we're doing this show, he's making $750 a week. And John goes to Howard. He says, I want to make more money than that. And he goes, well, work with Don. Have Don be your agent. Let him negotiate. So remember.
When he said 0 for K-Rock, did he mean 0? 0, 0?
Well, he was
Nothing?
an intern, probably.
No, he's making... Oh, yes, he was an intern. So he was making 0, yes.
Okay. Makes sense.
But he's making $750 a week with the Channel 9 show. And remember he said he had nothing nice to say about Don Buchwald? Clip 13.
You know, call Don and, he'll get you more money. So I called Don Buchwald. I signed all the papers saying that Don Buchwald's going to be my agent. And he represented me for the Channel 9 show, and he doubled my salary. I got $1,500 a month, which was fucking a lot of money to me.
All right. Well, there you go. There's a nice thing to say right there.
Yeah.
What a monster.
Didn't he say $750 a week before?
Yeah, I think he just misspoke.
Oh, okay.
there. I think. So $1,500 a week.
Maybe
That's
John
not-
didn't understand the math that he actually got to pay cut.
Wait, this guy
That's even
misspoke.
funnier. That's even worse. Like, what would you think about $1,500
A month.
That's funny. That's a good idea. All right. So now John goes on to explain all the things that Don Buchwald fucked up for him, because John's this mega talent trying to make it in show business, and his agents not getting him the gigs that he wants.
Damn.
The first, I believe, is when in the heyday of Stuttering John, I asked Don if he could get me on the Joan Rivers show. She was doing like, I think the 12:30 slot, I forget. Or get me on Conan or one of the shows. And Don said to me, "What are you going to do?" And I'm like, "What? Well, I thought, I'd be funny on there. I think I could handle myself. But imagine your agent saying to you, 'What are you going to do?'"
Yeah, he was right. I mean, the agent was
John
right.
thinks that Don Buchwald goes, "Thank God I have Stuttering John. I make 10% of the $1,500 a month. I make $150 a month off this guy."
Yeah, I know, right?
I think that's another nice thing he said about him, because he saved him all that embarrassment of
Right.
what would have happened if he went on Conan or Joan Rivers.
Guys, let's think about this. I know that in John's mind, the Howard Stern Show was the biggest deal in the world, and that's all anyone listened to and talked about. But at that time, it was only in a few markets.
Yeah.
The Channel 9 show, I believe, was only in New York. And John thinks he's going to get booked on Conan. He's the stunt boy on a radio show in New York. And he's going to get booked on Conan or the Joan Rivers show. Like, Howard was on Letterman pretty early on because Letterman just really
I liked him. Yeah, they were in
Yeah.
the same building, so
Yeah,
he was always
so-
available.
And Howard got a lot of publicity for what he did in New York.
Right. He did a good job with that. But even Howard wasn't being asked to be on national television shows all the time. He wasn't a national guy. John Mundis was definitely not a national guy at all. And he's mad at Don Buchwald for not going to bat for him.
I'll
But it's
be
just like,
funny. Come on.
Yeah,
Saved him.
right. What are you going to do? You're going to sit down with an interview and be like, all right, so you're intern with the Howard Stern Show? Yeah.
And the number 3, there's a photo.
It's so stupid. So, Don Buchwald, we miss you, buddy. You were one of the first ones to understand that John has zero talent. Thank you for that. The next thing that John complains about is this T-shirt deal. He goes, then I go to Don. This guy wanted to make Stuttering John T-shirts. And Don would do this thing where he'd go, let me call Howard and see. And then John would be like, oh, never mind, because he didn't want. But that's, it's crazy, though, because Howard has talked about this many times. He goes, I could have sold T-shirts. I could have sold merchandise. I never wanted to do that to my audience. I wasn't here to try to make as much money as I could off of my audience. So the fact that John would even approach Howard's agent, his agent too, and say, I want to sell T-shirts, shows how dumb he is. He's not understanding the show that he's on and what that's all about.
Well, it sounds like he thinks he's going to do an end run around Howard. Howard's not going to find out.
Right.
And Don's not going to get in any trouble for that.
Yeah, another good point.
Howard's just
Don's
gonna be-
save his ass.
He's going to be
cover his
livid at
ass.
Don.
Right. So that's why John's all mad at Don Buchwald, because people came to him with opportunities to make money, and Don would be like, I don't think you should do that. So my last clip on here, this is a whopper. I've not heard this one before, but apparently John recorded a song for an advertiser in LA, a company called Golden State Insurance. You guys have radio background. Listen to this whopper.
Forget the name of the sponsor. It was a California company, Golden State Insurance. So I already had a song, so I just played the song and sped it up, and it was like, holy shit, I'm here at Golden State. It's insurance that has the best rates. And I sang a song. Apparently, that commercial became a big hit in LA. And the radio was getting fucking requests for it, of me singing a fucking commercial with an acoustic.
No, they weren't.
This is all, that's a fact, Jack.
Oh, I guess it was.
So then, Don then reamed me again. Why don't you ask me? And I'm like, I thought I was I thought that, and I was stupid.
All right, very good.
Wait, what?
Now, this is one of John's tells. You can tell when he's lying. because that's when he really gets flustered and starts stammering a lot. And the station was getting requests for my commercial. They were? And then they were going to hold a parade for me. And then Don was like, you can't go to your own parade. I was like, what?
My song was number 9 on the top 10 of commercial hits.
Even like when he was trying
Request a commercial. Nobody.
even when he was like singing a little part of it, it had a
Didn't he swear?
swear word immediately. Like that wasn't playing on the radio, you idiot.
It just didn't sound like that great a song.
No, probably wasn't the best song.
Not even a
but
commercial jingle.
if anyone out there grew up in LA in the early 90s, let us know if you remember that.
Yeah, that commercial.
That commercial.
Does Golden State Insurance, is that real?
Who knows?
Well, not if they're using a John song. They're probably out of business.
So that's what John's up to, eulogizing his buddy Don Buchwald. No one does it better than John Melendez.
He was a dick.
Who are these podcasts?